yourself. Ryan's stirring. We best keep to our knitting. It's time to either run the table or go home empty. Ryan's got the genetic key to Rapture. We get that from him, and we get out of this hellhole. If we don't, then you and I are ghosts.
I know you're
I see Cohen's lost his touch. Work. Struggle. Now, he rots in that, never waiting for someone to come and tell him he's still got it. I suppose that's why he let you live.
I'm on your trail! Your stench! Stop dragging this out and fight me, you bastard! Don't run away from me! Why are you leaving me?
Taste it, can't you? Andrew Ryan.
You can't take it!
City, he says. He'll break it up in due time, he says. I've resigned from the council and lodged me letter of protest, but that's just pissing in the wind. It'll be war, I say, unless somebody stops Ryan, and right fast.
Whoa, beyond you!
shielded 6 ways till Easter. No way into that place. All I got for my trouble was the hairy eyeball from Ryan Splicer mates. What's the reward you get for trying to outsmart the best electrical engineer of our generation?
Keep running, coward! Come on then! Fight me properly! Go! You'll find nothing but darkness!
up and sees the face of God. But look around. It's a regular convention of worms in here. They all had mothers, fathers, people who loved them. They got married, fucked their wives. What makes you think you're any different? I haven't chosen the spot for you on the wall yet. Let me know if you have a preference.
I never killed a man, let alone a mason. But this is what things come to. I don't know if killing Mr. Ryan will stop the war, but I know it won't stop while that man breathes. I love Mr. Ryan, but I love Ratchet. If I have to kill one to save the other, so be it.
I had to go jungle style with that filthy ape for 3 weeks, but he finally spilled the beans on how to get to Andrew Ryan. Generate a sympathetic overload in harmonic chord number 3. That's simple. Now all I gotta do is figure out what the hell a sympathetic overload is, and for that matter, a harmonic chord number 3. Piece of cake for an electrical engineer. Too bad I designed ladies' shoes. Gonna go see the grease monkeys left alive in heat loss monitoring. See what I can shake out of their trees.
Like all parasites who ever tried to walk in stolen shoes. I'd explain the science that renders what you're trying to do impossible, but that would be like playing Mozart for a tree frog.
Kill him! Then string him up like the others! I'm sorry, folks. Think you can trick me? Come on, run away!
Rapture is coming back to life. Even now, can't you hear the breath returning to her lungs? The shops reopening, the schools humming with the thoughts of young minds. My city will live. My city will thrive. And when that day comes, we'll use your tombstone for paving tiles.
What is the difference between a man and a parasite? A man builds, a parasite asks, where's my share? A man creates, a parasite says, what will the neighbors think? A man invents, a parasite says, watch out or you might tread on the toes of God.
and his parasites, Rapture is on the rise.
What's under the suit,
I'm on to you! You think you could get away with this?
Inconvenienced by his own demise. On New Year's Eve, these wretched splicers come streaming out of the poorhouses and stormed the proverbial barricades. Dead rot in the streets. Johnny and Jamie's citizen are lined up around the block for plasmids. Anything to help fend off the rabble.
Mr. Cup? Who sent you? This isn't over.
T-74s like them Eve's appleberries go through penicillin. I've got Atlas's goons hitting us non-stop and 2 dead mechanics just this week. We need to control costs. If I wanted to deal with amateurs, I would have stayed on dry land.
Strikes me that Fontaine wasn't overly inconvenienced by his own demise. On New Year's Eve, these wretched splicers come streaming out of the poorhouses and stormed the proverbial barricades. They're dead rot in the streets. Johnny and Jamie Citizen are lined up round the block for plasmids. Anything to help fend off the rabble.
Imagine the will it took to create a place like this. And what have you built? Nothing. You can only loot and break. You're not a man. You're just a termite at her side.
Ryan's spies are dragging the young woman off right now. I'm certain she's one of Ryan's spies sent to fill me out. I think she is. If I'm wrong, an innocent girl lined up for Ryan's bloody trophy. Right, well, let's be right. The device is almost finished. I can't get soft now, I can't. Strikes me that Fontaine wasn't overly inconvenienced by his own demise. On New Year's Eve, his wretched splicers come streaming out of the poorhouses and stormed the proverbial barricades. The dead rot in the streets. Johnny and Jamie Citizen are lined up round the block for plasmids. Anything to help fend off the rabble. Some kind of fruit tree spinning like a top. And it was pouring juice down Ryan's throat, choking the bastard. But it wasn't a tree, really. When I looked closer, it was the core control. The gizmo that feeds the maglocks on Ryan's gate. You can't cut off the power. It comes right from the volcanic vents. Ryan always gets his juice. But I suppose you could drown the son of a bitch in it. Casing is ready. I've got one charge of nitroglycerin in my office. That will serve as the catalyst. Now I need 4 R34 lead shield wire stubs to pass the circuit. Then a half can of ionic gel. That's the pretty Betty of the mix. Should send the core into compensation mode, push power down the line and trigger the circuit breaker on Ryan's gate. Well, that's the theory. It'll either work like a charm, blow up half of Rapture. Nothing ventured.
You think you can get away with this? And his song! away from your life. We thought we could hide from the light now. I'll find you, sinner! And when I do...
Welcome to the circus of value! Welcome to the circus of... Welcome to the circus! Know your cravings at the circus of value!
To build a city at the bottom of the sea, insanity. But where else could we be free from the clutching hand of the parasites? Where else could we build an economy that they would not try to control, a society that they would not try to destroy? It was not impossible to build rapture at the bottom of the sea. It was impossible to build it anywhere else.
I suppose. I stopped, forgot. I believed in this place. I believed in Ryan. But when it got hard, Ryan didn't believe in rapture, didn't believe in a great Jane. He believed in power. And now this place is busto, and my girl is... gone. Worse than gone. One of those... things. So am I an assassin? Well, only one can find out.
Hmm?